customer retention techniques and keeping clients coming back. There's nothing as good as returning clients, returning customer. In fact, when they send you a message again, you welcome them. Thank you so much for reaching out. Am I right? You welcome them with love. Who do you prefer, returning customers or new customers? Returning. Everybody. So you don't want new customers. You don't want na collabo. All right, so if your hands are not too busy, please put them together for Joycee Awosika. Please, let's give her a round of applause. I hope I pronounced it well.
Yeah, you did. Okay. Thank you so much. Do I have to climb this? Hi, everyone. It's so beautiful to be in a room full of fellow beauty and wellness entrepreneurs. Thank you so much, Lyle, for putting this together. Thank you so much, Splice. What a great platform. And I love that the platform is focused on us and what we need in this part of the world. So I won't take up too much of your time. Lyle asked me to speak on customer retention techniques, and how many of us know that this is essential? Getting your customers to come back is the gold when you're building business, right? How many of us own a business? Just want to see my business owners. Amazing, okay. How many of us own, okay, okay, good, great. All right, I'm gonna move right along, and the subtopic was keeping clients coming back. And I think you know that if you wanna grow your business, you have to have built a lovable, in-demand business. And one thing that excites me about speaking today is the fact that I'm sitting amongst people who have built, I see several hair care businesses, nail businesses, med spa businesses that have literally built a brand where customers keep coming back. So if we can go to the next slide, why is this important? Our MC just asked, how many of us want new customers? All of us. But how many of us know that retaining the current customers you have is cheaper? Do we know? So the importance of retention is all about the fact that it's not just a strategy, it's a lifeline of your business. The moment you can crack the code and get your customers to keep coming back, think of you as the top of mind when they think of that niche of beauty or wellness. You have caught some gold, you have fetched gold, you have literally proven your business, okay? So whether you're in beauty or any industry, the key is to get customers coming back. That's the key, right? And over the years, Oríkì will be 9 years old in October. We have literally, thank you, seen the importance of focusing on our already existing customers. Not saying we don't have a complete strategy, which I could do a separate presentation for, for the new customers and coming back, which many of us know, ads, different things that you do, marketing, advertisement, using Meta, all those things. But for the customers that have been so kind to bless us with their presence, we want to see you coming back more and more, and that's what we focus on a day-to-day basis. If I go to the next slide, what's customer retention? Very simple, right? It basically is the concept of creating lasting connections with your customers, developing ways in which you get your customer to come back. Is it monthly? Is it weekly? Is it bi-weekly? If you're in the hair business, people like me, they literally see me every week. If you're in the spa business, maybe your customer comes once a month. If you're in nails, maybe it's once a month. So what is your method in ensuring that same customer who booked today comes again at the same frequency you desire, right? And if they don't know that they need to be coming frequently, how do you also communicate that to them so that you book them in and get them spending, and it's cheaper to keep them than it is to get a new one? So it's also the strategic process of turning your satisfied customers into lifelong customers. I'll touch upon this in a bit, but really a satisfied customer is the best word of mouth you can ever imagine. They will speak for you in doors in which you are not even there. And that is key. They keep coming back and they bring others along with them. So why is this important? When I was preparing these slides, the next slide, please. I thought about literally over 20 different reasons. Thank you. I thought about over 10 or 20 different reasons why it's so important to focus on customer retention. I'm kind of standing here in a two-pronged, let's say, in two capacities. Not only am I the founder of Oriki, I also run a consultancy that helps businesses to scale, helps businesses who have built lovable brands scale and basically build capacity, expand, grow, make more money. And when I was thinking about why it's important, I thought about maybe 3 or 4 things that I could really just focus on today. One of them is that it's cost effective. How many of us know that with dollar, with Forex, with the rising prices, anything that we can do to save cost is key? Am I right or am I right? And so when you're thinking about how Ngozi comes to your business today, she had a service, she told you she loved it, thank you so much, she paid her coins, and she left the building. And if you have no strategy to ensure that Ngozi is coming back, and however long your unique business has deemed important for your customers to return, you are leaving money on the table. Right? You cannot leave it to the customer, just assume that they're gonna book. Yes, some services, it's standard, right? If somebody really cares about their hair care, they may have it clocked in all the time, but you also have to be very deliberate about creating a strategy in which they come back. So first and foremost, it's cost effective. Every single day, I'm obsessed with the profitability of my company. This morning is Monday. On the 7th of every month, my finance team submits a monthly report. In the monthly report, we don't just see revenue, we see things like net profit margin, gross profit margin, highest cost expenditures, drivers. We have 11 locations. Out of every location, who did the highest, who performed, who hit their targets, what's the profitability? I mean, we drill down on data. Why? We started something just a month ago. It was a customer retention strategy. And my goal was, Mr. Nee, let me know if there's impact in the month of August for that strategy. And lo and behold, we increased revenue by 15% from last month and increased it by 137% from August 2023. My point is very simple. Customer retention is non-negotiable, saves you cost. Now, in the report, I gave him a response. I said to him, you've given me this wonderful report, but I need to see exactly how much we spent on this strategy to compare with that 10% increase. So what am I trying to communicate to you? Get obsessed with data. It's not enough to build a business and say, today, we had this amount of revenue, we had this amount of customers in, wonderful. Or, you know, July is summer, our customers leave. No, go and get other customers. Or go and find the customers that did not leave because the economy is not nice, and get them and figure out ways to bring them in. Perhaps you start a promo. Perhaps you choose one day a week where you run a promo. This is how we turned ourselves to be a fully booked establishment. We use specific customer retention strategies. Number 2, word of mouth marketing. Customer retention is important because, word of mouth marketing is important because when you make a customer feel extremely special, right, they also feel moved and motivated to tell someone else, right? And we find that all the time. One of the things that changed the game for Oriki, and I like to be transparent and real. So when I sit down, I'm sure you guys say, oh, she said so many nuggets. Yes, because I really feel like what's in it for you, what's for you is for you, what's for me is for me. There's competitors, but I don't really worry too much about these things. So this is me being very transparent. Gift vouchers, they changed the game for my business over 5 years ago. So it's not a yesterday thing. But what happened is we incentivized our customers to provide gift vouchers. To buy gift vouchers. And we watched the trend. When Ngozi bought a gift voucher for Ifine then had us in top of mind the next time he needed to buy a gift for a colleague. And he had a great service, and then he tells his colleagues, guys, it's really easy. If you need to get a gift for someone, low touch, you're not sure what they like, just book them in a wellness service. And it became a thing in which every single day we see revenue from in-house and revenue from gift vouchers. Do you know that it became a competitive internal strategy? Let gift vouchers per day double or 3 times or 4 times the amount of people coming in. Do you think it's possible? It's very possible. And so that became a whole nother strategy of word of mouth, getting people to also share this opportunity, gift vouchers, how it's easy, how convenient it is, and of course, this translated to us changing our customer journey. So we had to then ensure that customers had an easy way to get their gift vouchers, make it very easy on the website, clear, and easy to navigate. Next one, why is customer retention important? Gives you a competitive advantage. How many of you have your makeup artist that you use? If you probably cry if you had to have an event and the makeup artist couldn't take you in, or you have that connection to someone. This person has to touch my hair. This person has to do my nails. That idea of you have now become a market leader in that sense. You have now created an avenue where people think of you and you alone. If it's not this person, then I don't want anyone to do it. So it basically fosters a deeper relationship with your customers and allows you to essentially build trust, right? You're building trust with them, and then when they trust you, they then use you and you alone unless you break their trust. I was talking to someone yesterday, my sister-in-law precisely, and she used to do a specific service for her daughter at one location, and it was perfect. There was absolutely nothing wrong with this location. Perfect, they were good for the kids' service. And then she had to have a service recently and brought her daughter along and decided, let my daughter try at this place. And because this new place was able to cut the time in half, her favorite place lost a customer. So the point is, as much as we're talking about competitive advantage of being loved, you have to also check your parameters. What do your customers love? What's important to them? Is it saving time? Is it efficiency? Is it the quality of the products you use? And then make sure you're continuously upping the ante on that particular thing. So it goes down to knowing your customers, which we're going to talk about quickly next. So, okay, they've given me the power. Okay, so the essential W's and H's, I'm just going to skim through this pretty much, but know your customers. Who are your customers? It's not enough to say, my customers are females that are between the age of 25 and 60. No. What's their demographic? Where do they work? What are their consumer choices? What are their preferences? Where do they like to hang out? These things are very, very important. You know why? My husband and I had a little bit of a back and forth over one thing that began to happen with my brand at about year 3, 4. So I thought, and I even had it in our communication, Oríkì is a luxury spa. I had all this stuff written in there in the first location. And the first location was gorgeous. It was beautiful. They all are. But, it was standalone, VI, Ojo Olobun Street, and it was built like that, like luxury and escape. And then I realized something quickly. My customers were not exactly what I wrote down, right? So the people who would typically go for the luxury, right, weren't necessarily my only customers, right? They would come in, and they would actually come in when they knew it was like a quiet time, or they weren't going to be seen by a lot of people. But what was happening was, by the time that we opened number 2 and number 3 and number 4, we started realizing that people were coming in because they wanted to have an Instagrammable spa experience. Do you get the difference? Completely different. So we started seeing a switch where some of my VIP customers, for lack of better words, you guys understand what I mean, would be like, Joycee, this place is too busy. Like, it's supposed to, I want it to be a certain way. I'm coming in, I'm bumping in, people are recognizing me. I don't want that. And then these particular customers were the masses. They were more. The ones that came in with 3 girlfriends, booked a service, took a picture, took a video, posted it on social media for me. Do you think I won't focus on them? I focus on them. So know your customer, know who they are. There'll be some places, like I think of, a fellow beauty entrepreneur here who's killing it. She has different locations as well, and I know that her different locations have different type of clientele, different niches, so that might also happen. We are now in 2 countries, and we're in several states across Nigeria. It's different, right? It's really different. The people are very, very different. In our Kenya branch, our customers are the first family. it happened on their own. I did not go and solicit to the first family, but they are our customers, and it's because of the way that that location is built. It's very, very private. So even if 4 people come in at once, it's built in a way where no one has to bump into each other. But I did not design it like that here in Nigeria. And I'm happy to help my particular demographic continue to understand the importance of wellness. They are more of my customer target than the ones I initially thought. So everything changed. There was a day I had all the copy changed on my website, all the copy changed on our brochures. No such thing as luxury. We don't call ourselves luxury. We're built with premium spaces. People like to use filler words, but they don't know what it really, really means. Hermes and Tory Burch, love both of them, 2 different brands. But they're both nice and made with amazing leather. But they both also may have the same customer sometimes, but then they also have a very different way that they market. Know your customer. So that's the who. Why? You have to understand why your customers leave. And I'm gonna also be transparent here. From year 1 to year 3, I was that founder, that entrepreneur that was extremely scared of negative feedback. Is anyone here like that? It's real. I need to turn back the hands of time to know how I got over it. I think the way I got over it was I realized that every time I got the feedback, it was priceless because it helped us become better. And I focused on the after effect more than the emotions and the hurt I felt. I didn't take things personally. I just wanted to know the truth. And when I switched to that mode, things changed. So at Oriki, we are so obsessed with understanding why our customers even won't come back or why they leave. We are so obsessed with it that we go out of our way. We have a membership program. People pay for membership, like a fitness subscription. And if someone, Paystack will give us an alert, so-and-so has canceled their subscription for the month. I've never seen another brand do this because I have gym. I subscribe to a certain gym. And when I canceled, they did not come and ask me, but we call that customer. We email that customer. You'll say, how much time would I put towards that? Hire someone, create a dual role that would be in charge of that. And they would be in charge of other things because hopefully you don't have cancellations every second. But the point is that you need to know why customers. Okay, someone came in 6 months ago. Are you using a system like Splice that can show you the last time someone came in? It's really important. We pull that data all the time. We pull the data to know exactly when customers come, frequency. In fact, last year, when we pulled our data in December, the year before, 2022, we saw the metric, we saw the customers who were the most frequent visitors, and by month, how many bought gift vouchers, and it allowed us to create thank you packages based on certain levels for customers. And we launched a new product around this. So my point is that knowing the data, again, is very, very essential. Okay, what? So the what is, what drives your customers' loyalty? This is a question to really think about. What drives their loyalty? At places, for example, like some places it could be the fact that your attention to detail, you're so meticulous. Other places, it could be that it's a serene environment. Some places, I was speaking to Uju, it could be that you have a private location, like people don't feel like they're exposed there. They don't get to bump into people. At some places, it could be the fact that you have built a beautiful Instagrammable space. Like that could be some of the things that drives your customers. So it's really important to know what are the factors that makes your customer keep coming back. And when do your customers return? This goes back to my point that I was making on frequency. Our makeup, I probably get my makeup done twice a year in Nigeria. It has to be some type of specific type of event I'm going to. And so for me, I'm not the top of the line for my makeup artist, but when I need it, I want her. Some people, it's much more frequent. And so the makeup artist needs to determine how do they keep their customers coming back? How frequent do they come? And stratify it based on the type of their customer. I work with one client on my consultancy, SOAR, who was having that problem. And then she decided, we put our heads together, and she decided to launch a makeup training tutorial for the everyday woman like me who wants to learn how to do her makeup on the go. And she started this course, and this lady is making revenue every day from a course that she has literally amplified through ads, getting people, maybe like you sitting in here, that doesn't want to pay 60,000 naira or 70,000 naira for your makeup. You want to learn how to do it to a place where you're good with it. And that was what she did, and that's a whole nother stream of income that she's doing. So can there be training? Can there be different things that you layer on to your business? Next ones, last two, where and how. So where? How do your customers interact with your brand? So is it social media mainly? Do they find out about your brand from another brand? So is there a reason for you to maybe do partnerships or affiliate marketing? What are all the touch points? How do they get to know about you? So one of our touch points that also came up on this journey of building this brand is hotels. At the time in which we went into our first hotel, no other spa was looking at that as a strategy. And we said, it's no-brainer. Spas are designed for people to come and have some rest, some rejuvenation, whether it's a business hotel, whether it's a wellness hotel, a tourism hotel. And the ones that don't have spas, they're missing out. So we came up with a strategy and said, listen, there's how many hotels, let's identify the ones we'd want to be in. And guys, by the second pitch we made, the hotel started calling us. So the question is there a touch point that you're currently missing out on that you can amplify, even if it's a partnership? There's a new location we're opening in a month, and it's the first of its kind as well in Nigeria. And when it launches, people are gonna say, how did they think about this? It's with a completely different industry, but there's a subset, there's a touch point. It's going back to that who. I know who my customers are, and they have my customers, so we are launching in that space. Next one and last one is how. How do you keep your customers engaged? So my question, retention. Are you doing newsletters? Do you have an SMS marketing campaign? We have a newsletter that goes out weekly. We have ads that are run every month. We have an entire budget for ads. Very new, by the way. This is me being real, because I didn't always think I used to only run ads for our Black Friday promo, Mother's Day, different things. And then we decided to try something and put a budget together just for ads. Made all the difference. So how do you keep your customers engaged, and how do you measure retention? Another thing that's important, I don't know if Lio's in the room, I don't think anyone asked this, but no one really asked about the level of detail in their data analysis. So we've always chosen our platforms that we use. We don't use Fresha. I get it, Fresha is great, it's free, it's good for some businesses, and it works. But if you want to get into the detail on data, we've used other platforms before in the past. Now we're going to use Splice, and we are using Splice with one part of our business because of the level of detail. So this morning, when I was reviewing the Head of Finance's report, I also opened up our dashboard and I checked our occupancy levels in every location. How versatile and robust is the data that your booking platform keeps? Can they tell you retention? So we can tell you how many customers we retained from last month to the next month by location. Very, very important. It also tells us the number of new customers we had, the number of repeat customers we had, how many upsells and upgrades we had. It tells us everything. So that's really important to understand your retention metric. Things like CLV, customer lifetime value, very, very important. So I can sit down and I can analyze that Sari here, who's doing extremely well, can actually spend 1 million naira in my business over the year on himself. But then he can give me an extra 1 million naira on gifting all his staff and friends and people around. So you have to be able to say, what is the customer lifetime value, and break it down as well. Per year, per month, quarterly, how much can your customer give you? And go out and get it. Everything should be a competition against yourself. Not against the next business, but internally. I achieved this month. I now know how I achieved this, so what's my next? Okay, we're rounding up. A satisfied customer is the best business strategy of all. Some of us have lovable brands. Some of us have our favorite restaurant. If someone's coming in town, or if you just want a meal, you want to treat yourself, you know where you go. That restaurant is doing something right. This is what you need to get at. I want to say something with the customer retention. I was telling one of my beauty colleagues here, one of the things that we do that we launch, I think it might help someone, is secret shoppers. So for 3 years, we've been doing secret shoppers. Every single one of our locations gets secret shopped every month, and we created a budget for it. So obviously, secret shopper doesn't work if your team knows that the person is a secret shopper. So we literally are able to provide a cash gift voucher, which is created by management, so no one knows in terms of the operational team. The person comes and books in. So because we have 11 plus secret shoppers per month, what we do is they book in different ways. So for you, you might book through DM, you might book through WhatsApp, might book so that we can get a good analysis. Then they all fill out a form and we get to know the nitty gritty. Helps me sleep well at night. Because truthfully, as I stand to you, I don't actually run the Oriki spas. I am on other projects. So for me to feel at peace knowing that Oriki Spa is maintaining its level of service, secret shoppers give me the information that I need. They'll tell me if there's trash in the waste bin. They'll tell me if anything funny happened. They'll tell me if the place wasn't clean and if they did not perceive our signature fragrance when they walked in. Secret shoppers. A good way for customer retention as well. 2 more slides, I believe. 5 strategies to increase customer retention. So those of you who are like, your ears are perked and saying, okay, what can I do differently? What can I do differently? Invest in exceptional customer service. We have 5 brand values at Oriki. The acronym is NUSI. Nurture. Number 2 is unbridled service. Unbridled service is where we obsess over everything customer service. And honestly, we keep trying to get better. We may not have been as good as we are today a year ago, but we keep iterating, and we've even hired roles. So right now, as I speak to you, we have a virtual customer service team that is in 3 different time zones. So right now, test us. If you try to DM us at 4 a.m., somebody will respond to you. This is something that we've done just because we have put so much into the whole concept of gift vouchers, immediate acts, and so we want people to feel it across the entire customer journey. But we've obsessed. We found everywhere where things are broken, and we obsess over fixing it. So we hired Ogechi a year and a half ago, and Ogechi just specializes in finding everything that's broken and fixing it from a customer service point of view. The WhatsApp took an hour to respond. How does she fix it? Now everybody has a laptop at the front desk. Everybody's on WhatsApp web, and you have to now say, hi, this is Faith responding to you so we can know who dropped the ball. Are you understand? So that level of detail is very important. Number 2, provide personalized communication. Personalize as much as possible. Know your customers. Newsletters, something as simple as when you get their first name, make sure your newsletter is written with hello, Ada, hello, so-and-so. Make sure it's personalized. Now, with the advent of AI, there's so many things you could do. I'm going to Uju's place this week, and I'm having an AI skin, what's this thing, analyzer? So there's so many things you can do to add to your business to make it more personalized. Number 3, engage your customers and ask for feedback. Why are we afraid? Who's been afraid of feedback? Why are we afraid? I know why we're afraid, because I was that person before. And now I live for it. I live for the feedback. I might brace myself. Sorry. How do I go back? Can you guys take me back? Can you go back to that slide, please? But I might brace up for it if I know that maybe, I need to tell you about something that happened, and I might know it might be not what I want to hear. But feedback is the only way you can get better. I have 2 boys, and my sons, one of them is extremely perfectionistic. I'm like, who did he get that from? Like, he's so perfectionist, and he's so young. And I tell him all the time that, baby, you can't get everything right? But when you get something marked wrongly, it gives you a chance to know where you need to learn more, where you need to come up higher, and that's the same way we should look into business. Can somebody help me go back to the slides? Next one, before. So, the one before, 2 slides back. So basically, it's quite important to always ask for feedback and always respond to feedback. If you go on Oriki's page right now and you check the reviews, you will notice that 99% have a response. Someone asked the question, Splice, are you on Google Review? But when she goes on Google Review, it's going to be just as important that there's a response to everyone that writes. That feedback and that response is very critical. Proactive problem solving. So find the things that you're not good at, like the Ogechi that I hired. Find the things that you're not already, you know there's already a challenge there, there's already a problem. Find them and then solve them actively. Okay, so solve them actively. That is being very proactive in what you do. And lastly, reward your loyal customers. When Lyle reached out and said, Splice has loyalty, I was like, okay, keep speaking, because honestly, those of you know, some of the platforms that are free that many of us have used did not have loyalty. And there was a time I was trying to integrate another company that does loyalty in Nigeria with like a Fresha back in the day. It didn't work. So loyalty is very, very important, and everyone loves it. Some of us choose specific airlines to fly because of the loyalty points we get. Some of us choose to go to specific beauty stores like Sephora versus Ulta, or Ulta versus Sephora, because of the loyalty rewards you get. So any way you can incentivize your customers, please do it. Now, ever since we launched our loyalty, we get emails every day saying, hi, can I please use my loyalty reward points? And then the loyalty reward points are easy on their dashboard, easy to see. They can cash in and get free services or use it towards a service. I want to wrap up here. This is my last slide before we turn into questions. What made the difference for us? Obviously, we couldn't have scaled to where we've scaled to without having customer retention. We couldn't have gotten to this point. Yeah. Please help me again. We couldn't have gotten to this point without customer retention. Now, it became, our customers begin to tell us where to go next. So there became an issue that, hey, you're in Lekki Phase 1. Can you please come to Ikate? Oh, you're here. Come here. Ibadan. Everybody was shocked when we opened Ibadan. Ibadan was on fully booked status. Everybody said nobody can have a spa service in Ibadan. We did our research. We saw a niche. They didn't have what we were offering. They also have an aging population. So we can go to someone like you and say, listen, your parents are based in Ibadan, book them in for a monthly service, give them credit. So it's about drilling down and going in deep, right? And so that's why this year we're opening 5 more locations by the end of the year, simply due to these things I'm mentioning today. And 2 of them are in other countries. So again, trying to expand, and I was thinking about that, Lyle, if you're here. I'm sure Splice has other countries you want to go into next, so let's talk. So Oriki case study, when was the real shift for us? COVID. Typically, COVID should have shut us down, right? If you do a research right now, spa industries, COVID, so many companies across the world shut down. They actually just sat down on the floor and felt helpless. I said, it's not possible. There has to be a way around it. And some of the strategies I mentioned to you is actually how we surmounted it. We stayed so close to our customers during COVID that what we did, we started asking them, how are you feeling, how are you doing? And one particular customer, I'll thank her forever, Mrs. A, she literally sent a message saying, listen, I just went to the clinic and everybody was there and it was full. Everybody wore their PPE and they got to it. Why can't you guys do the same thing? And I said, well, we can't really open because we're not an essential business, and that would have been against Lagos state laws at the time, or rules. But hey, why can't we come to you? And she's like, can you come to me? We'll do it, right? I remember turning to my husband at the time and saying that people are gonna think that like we're so desperate. I had all these type of emotions, these self-limiting beliefs. But the point is, that same week, several other customers asked us the same thing. Joycee, not Joycee, Oriki, but it was through email. We're stressed. Is there any way you could come to us for a service? So long as your therapist is wearing PPE, we will allow them in. And that's how, within 7.5 weeks, we were in over 700 homes. We literally used Fresha at that time. This was COVID year. And what we did was we turned Fresha, we turned it around and began to use it for at-home bookings, spacing the times out, increasing our therapist team, accommodating everyone, and we began. Why am I telling this story? Not because that was our best year yet, by the way. From 2015 to 2020, that was our best revenue year. And of course, increased from there. But the point is, I use that story because of something very important. I had a fellow spa owner. She called me and said, Joycee, you're stealing my clients. And I was like, oh, why? She said that, she contacted some of her clients. They wanted services. And I said, Oriki is actually, she had said no. So she said, Oriki is actually coming to us to do services. And this was particularly a Brazilian wax. I'll never forget. And she said, I did not know her. I never met her before. And I was just like so kind. I said, I just thought about doing home service and maybe you should consider doing it too. She said, no, I will never do home service so my staff can steal from me. And any of those limiting beliefs will affect you from growth. The truth is, the best thing that's most advantageous for you to do is to empower the company and the team to have as much capacity as possible so that you can continue to scale. So when we did that, we started getting clients that we had never had before. That was when our population of men increased. Men started booking, and the thing about the men was that when they booked for their deep tissue massage, they would then gift it immediately. Please, tomorrow at 11 a.m., I need you to go to this person's house. So immediately the therapist turned into like booking agents as well. So my point is that look at the gap in the market and do not be afraid. At the end of the day, many of these customers stayed with us. Maybe 60% of those who came in COVID. And we basically grew and grew and grew from there. Next is rewarding loyals. I've already mentioned this. These are three, I'm just touching on three things that really made the difference for Oríkì. Rewarding loyals. So people love the idea of, I need a Swedish massage. Let me just wait and book for Oríkì. I might be inside of a spa right now or in a hotel that has a spa, but let me go and book here because I know I'm going to get rewarded for it. And lastly, two more, increase your touch points. Like I said, find more avenues. So we do partnerships. Now we're at a point where, again, I did not see another spa doing this. We're at a point where we do corporate wellness, right? And that's a very quiet business. Go to this oil and gas company. What are you doing to reward your staff? You're already doing fitness and gym. What else do you want to do? And they say, give us an idea. We have the spa. Why don't you give everyone at this level? Every senior management gets this, mid-management, lower management, and next thing you know, we grew into, and these are one-time, one and done, bam, influx, and you have customers coming. So what's that area in your industry in which you can increase your touch point? And lastly is just stay in touch. You'll never, so I went to a function a couple weeks ago, and someone said to me, Joycee, do you know that it's such a shock that I'm seeing you here? Your team just wrote me. I was like, which one? Your Ikeja branch. They said, hi, Lola, it's been 4 weeks since we've seen you. And so just that idea of building a system where people go back and look and see the last time you engaged with the customer and then bring them to top of mind. And in the end of it, guys, I didn't even know that the head of operations had started this. But in the very end of the message, it says, if you book with us today, like if you book and pay today, you get X amount of percentage off. So just that idea of staying in touch. Listen, the market is big. The things are up for the grab. There's so many customers for you, whether you're in beauty, in makeup, nails, hair, spa, med spa, whatever you're in, lashes, there's enough room in the market. Can I just tell you that? There is enough room in the market. All my colleagues here can tell you there's enough room. You don't have to feel like watching and competing with the person next to you is your all-day, everyday strategy. Instead, find these gaps and then amplify them, fix them, amplify it, and make more money. Hope you found this useful.